excited to share, like I actually use Qwilr every day, obviously, to send out my proposals. And where Qwilr really springs into action is this time frame in the sales process where I'm chatting with somebody, they express some interest. They're like, yeah, I'd like to learn more. Maybe we'll hand you some money, but like before that, I need to share this with 6 other stakeholders you never get to meet. We need to look at our budget. Doesn't really matter what they say as a but. They almost always follow it up with, so please send me some more information. And so that should be really exciting for me to hear. Oh, great, they want more information. But then in the back of my head, I think, okay, well, now I have to go find the correct information that's marketing approved, that tells the best story of Qwilr, put it all together quickly, as quickly as possible, because that impresses the buyers, and then send it out to them. And when I send it out to them, I have no idea how they're engaging with it. So Qwilr really springs into action at that time frame between they ask me to send them something, and then either down here they either hand me money or the deal's closed lost. And the whole goal is to make it really easy for me to get that content, put it together, tell the most customized, bespoke, accurate story for them as possible, then hand it off to them in an easy little package that they can engage with. They can share it with other people, and it's no longer this black hole where it's sitting with them and I have to ask them, did you see the proposal? Did you view the proposal? Did you share it with 6 other people? What are you thinking? I'll actually get a bunch of analytics, which gives me insights on what's being engaged with, how to follow up, all the good stuff. And I promise I do use this on a near daily basis. So I'll be showing you this from my actual perspective.
Awesome. Yeah. Echoing that, we do find that a lot of the collateral goes into a black hole. So yeah, we're really excited about the analytics portion of Qwilr as well. So Aaron's going to get into that. Feel free to drop in questions about that as he goes. And we also have some exciting analytics changes coming up next year as well. So Aaron, I'm going to hand it over to you. Take us away.
Awesome. Let's do a screen share here. So as I'm pulling up this screen share, I'm going to try and keep things logical to some extent by walking through Qwilr in 3 separate steps, just to kind of keep it compartmentalized. Step 1 of that is going to be, how do you create content in Qwilr? It's a new tool. You might have content elsewhere, but we have to get it in Qwilr. And so it has to look good, it has to be on brand. So how do we create the content? Step 2, how do we then take that content, put the right pieces together for the right prospect, the person that's asking for what they need to pitch this internally, and then get it out the door quickly. So build the content, personalize, customize the content, send it out. And then step 3, what happens once it's out there in the world? I just made this beautiful proposal that I'm super proud of. I really want to see the engagement and what's happening on the back end. Plus, we'll look at what this looks like to the prospect, the person that's receiving your proposal, or your pitch deck, or your sales collateral, because you can do a lot of things with Qwilr. So we'll start with step 1, which actually is the place where Tania and I work the closest together, because I have to be on brand. I can't just create anything at any time. And so when I log into Qwilr on day 1, I, or Tania in my world, will set my hex codes and my brand colors, which are just as easy as literally pasting this or scrolling over and finding your brand colors, as well as fonts. And that really sets everything else up for me to do as little work as possible, customizing things as I go. And so once I have those things set up, I pretty much never want to start from scratch. Come in here and build something from blank, which you can do. But I like the shortcut path of using one of our templates. So Qwilr already has sitting there waiting for you. It's 50 different proposal templates, which are basically starting points, kind of laid out in what we've found as best practices. So we look at what our thousands and thousands of Qwilr users send, millions and millions of these pages with even more views. And we take those things and put them in an order that gets high engagement from the folks that they're sending this to. So this is kind of like a starting point meets best practices. We have everything from proposals to pitch decks to things that might live more in the customer success world, like onboarding guides, in the marketing world, like case studies and overviews and things like that. But I think the best example and our bread and butter is certainly proposals. So I'll go ahead and select one of these proposals as a starting point and say, hey, I want to work with this one. And so in doing so, Qwilr is going to apply all my brand colors and my fonts, so I don't have to do this. I can title this and tuck it away in a folder if I want to, but really quickly I get to start changing and organizing and making this my own. So a lot of Qwilr is kind of copy and paste, drag and drop simple, because we want this to be as easy as humanly possible to quickly get this looking like it should in your world. So I can go ahead and replace this logo with well, 3 Qwilr logos. But let's say I had different brand colors and wanted to make sure that this pops off the page. So maybe I'm going to go ahead and select 1 out of 3 of these. I can actually do this even faster. Let's say I went to my customer's website and wanted to get their logo. I could copy it and then paste it. So I just took a screenshot here. So maybe I want to make this more customized immediately. So it should be really fast. Drag, drop, copy, paste, simple. You can see in the background, we have some moving elements. Maybe I'm going to send this this proposal to a construction company that is used to getting PDFs. So maybe I want this to be a little more, a little less flashy, let's say. So instead, I'll go into our, our library of available images, which you have thousands of, or maybe I want to upload something from my uploads folder. Either one's going to be really quick, but I can give myself a new background with a couple of clicks. Maybe it's literally for the construction industry, so I want to personalize it to them. And when I do so, Qwilr's going to let me apply my own brand colors here as kind of like a hue out in the background, so I can make this feel like my brand meets the customer's brand. I'm going to actually switch from this template to pretend we're 3 hours into building Qwilr and Tania and I have worked together, which is where we would end up here, where our brand is kind of getting here, our colors, our background, all that kind of stuff. By the way, today we're not Qwilr, we're St. Nicholas Express Delivery, little holiday theme here. It's going to allow me to show you how to make like something that's on brand for something that's fake, because Qwilr is easy to do. So essentially, this one's pre-built to have a background, some placeholders here for the company and the ways I want to make this personalized. But as I go through here, I might want to make bigger adjustments, like changing what this actually says. So let's say we switch how we pitch our product. This needs to be fast and really easy to change. Things like changing the background and colors like this. Our services, being able to perhaps drop something totally new in here. So in this world, let's go ahead and grab a video that I have the link for. And let's say I wanted an overview video of how we work. So this big example is how Qwilr works with HubSpot. But to create this, I literally click one button, tell Qwilr I want a video. Maybe I have a title here, which again is all going to be in my font, my brand colors, things like that. And so really quickly here, I'll be able to add an entirely new piece of content to this proposal that didn't exist 10 seconds ago with simple drag and drop ability. Tania, any specific blocks or types of content that are your favorite that I might be able to kind of display live?
Yeah, we have an ROI calculator that you can drop in as well. So it does presets. So if you are wanting to show some value of how much time you're saving or how many dollars you're saving customers, we do have that here. And it's super simple to set up. Very similar to how the other blocks work. You can change the background and the branding. And it's quite a beautiful interactive calculator as well.
Yeah, super solid one. So hopefully, I was trying to get it done in the time you were saying your sentence, but I've just dropped an ROI calculator on here. I can make this more visual. But what this will allow me to do is say, hey, this is how much time or money you would save with our St. Nicholas delivery services here.
Yeah, we also have. Sorry, Aaron, you go.
No, go ahead.
We also have an embed function as well. So if you're wanting to embed spreadsheets or forms to capture customer details, it's quite a flexible area of the product. So you can drop in anything that essentially has an online link.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's pretend that I wanted them to fill out a form on Qwilr.com. There's a bunch of pre-built ones like meetings, right? You always want somebody to maybe take a next step with you. Presentations, charts, graphs, images, videos, all that good stuff. But you can just as easily embed something that you might not think to embed here. I was going to try and embed the Qwilr website, but Qwilr obviously didn't want me to do that. So let's stick with the YouTube video. And so, yeah, dropping in forms or content like that is going to be quite simple if I use the right actual link here. But being able to place that somewhere on a page where perhaps I'm talking about like our values, and then I want to put the video that overviews our values off to the right here. With a couple of quick, simple clicks, I can do this. And by the way, as I'm going through this, I'm going to fumble a little bit because you know, this is usually a combination of sales and marketing working together. And so so Tania's going to be like exponentially better at that actual drag and drop than me, but pretty quickly I can do this. Tania, any other comments before I start to kind of phase out of like how you build these things?
No, go for it. No.
Cool. Just keeping in mind, like Qwilr pages are totally live and potentially 100% interactive. So you could have drop downs and you know, the embed function, buttons to live web pages, things like that, and they're all going to be really quick and easy to build. So I'll go ahead and delete this, and we'll transition from step 1 to step 2. So let's say I have this looking the way I want. I have my customer stories, the companies we work with. I have my pricing built in here. By the way, you can build your pricing to be like a kind of a saved library of pricing in Qwilr, or you can build the pricing on each proposal you're ready to send out, or you could connect to one of our CRM integrations and pull it through automatically. And we will talk about this, but full like legally binding e-sign capability built right in here, or you could turn this off and make this just kind of a click to accept button. But let's say this is what I want my enterprise level proposal to look like from start to finish. Get a little video here at the bottom, and I'm pretty happy with the way things go. Now I want to be able to save the content so that I can reuse it in step 2 as often as I need it. So we can save every piece of content. You can see where this page kind of splits. We call these blocks. And so I could save this as a video block or a video intro or something like that. And then I also want to save this entire page as a starting point, because all of my proposals tell a similar story, right? I always have the same value prop for St. Nicholas delivery services. And so when I'm ready to reuse this again and again, I click one button that converts this to a template, which means it's set so that Tania and my marketing friends can come in here and adjust as much as they want. But I, as a seller, don't need to think too much about that. Some of the content is kind of locked in place, and I don't have to worry about versioning control. I can just come in here and use this, but customize it for the company name. So on that note, if you do connect to a CRM, of which we connect to Salesforce, HubSpot, Pipedrive, Zoho, and some others via Zapier or potentially even API, Qwilr can fill these things automatically from that connection. But if you don't have a CRM to connect to or don't want to, you can still create placeholders. We call them tokens. So let's say I want to create one called company name, and then I want to create one called date. I can create literally as many of these as I want and make them only relevant to, to my world. So I want to replace this placeholder with this token, and then we'll put one in here for date that I just made. And then I'll do a little buddy the elf reference instead of putting the sender name, because you're already getting how this works. And we'll do favorite colored for just kind of a unique placeholder, because I'm sure in everyone's world, what they put in proposals is a little bit different, but we still want to make this as customized and bespoke feeling as possible. So now I have my template as a starting point, and then I have some saved content that I've just clicked on this page and saved, or marketing has made for me. Thank you again, marketing. And now I'll transition into step 2. So step 2 says, I, as the seller, have just gotten off the phone with somebody and they're super excited. They say, send me some more information, but I need to go pitch this with 6 other stakeholders, and we need your pricing. We're comparing this to other tools, yada, yada. Please put your best foot forward and send me something. And so I'll log into Qwilr as a seller, or I'll log into the CRM if you're connected to one of those CRMs that's connected to Qwilr. Either way, I'll have one simple button that tells me I can create a page from a template. And when I go to click create this page from a template, then it's time to decide which template I want to use as a starting point. So in this fake world, we have the one we just created, which is the delivery proposal overall, but we also might have other versions, right? Industry specific enterprise proposal versus small level company proposal, more transactional product led, whatever makes sense in your world. I, as a seller, will select the one that's the closest to my starting point and then tell Qwilr that I want to create the page. And Qwilr in return will ask me, okay, great, but who are we making this for? And I'm going to build this for Tania's tea time company because, who doesn't like a good hot tea around the holidays? And you're going to need some delivery services to get that to people. Tania, what's your favorite color? I'll take a guess here, but
Yellow.
Yellow. I was going to guess sparkly orange to match that wonderful hat on your head, but that's fair. And so we are 6 December 2023, or 7th if you're in Brisbane, I guess, but you get this one in future. And so with these small elements, or 50 different placeholders, whatever makes sense, this is going to customize the Qwilr page without me worrying about versioning control, without me hitting Control F to find the things that were made for the last prospect, so that they feel like I made this for them, but I didn't really have to do much work here. And so we'll title this for this tea time, and maybe we folder it away to keep things organized. We'll talk a little bit about tags and how analytics can help on the back end. But essentially with those short fill-ins, I now have a page that doesn't mess with the master kind of marketing copy. I have a page specifically for Tania's tea time company. So this is my proposal for it. If I didn't need to make any edits, I'm ready to share this and send this out the door. Hopefully way faster than anybody else that's pitching Tania. And she's like, oh, that company starts looking good because they're the fastest to respond and they built a proposal that looks customized for me. However, maybe I do need to make some edits here. Maybe this executive summary doesn't feel like it's quite the right fit here, and I want to get rid of it. And instead, I want to click one button, go to my saved block library, and replace this with some other enterprise content that I built in the past. Like maybe instead of an executive summary, I want a little quick message from the founder or about the founder. And maybe Tania has told me that her tea time company is the most secure tea time company ever. So they need this security and privacy section, but specific to our enterprise folks. So I can start dragging and dropping pieces of saved content, but I could also, with a couple clicks, put, can't wait to work with you. Your Zing tea team, because that's what they specialize in on the holiday times. It's like very quickly pull in the right pieces of content, make sure this tells the right story, because Tania told me she's going to share this with 6 other stakeholders. And this is all those 6 other stakeholders are ever going to see. This is the Qwilr pitch without me being in the room to be able to share the Qwilr pitch or the St. Nicholas delivery or whatever company pitch you have. And I want to make this concise, but compelling. And we'll talk a little bit in the analytics, how you don't really have that much time and attention of the people that are opening this as much as we'd all like to think they are. So I really want to put my best foot forward. Maybe I want to tuck some stuff away. Like this case study is great, right? It talks about our speedy sleigh delivery element and how some people were really happy with how fast that arrived. But I'm pretty sure not everybody's going to click into that. So I kind of tuck that away and make it accessible. Same with legal compliance. Hopefully there's no lawyers on the call, but like the lawyer will always find this. Everyone else will skip right through it, essentially. And then again, I can have this, this pricing be pre-built. If I offer similar things each time, I can have a saved library by clicking one button, just like with the blocks, and saving this to reuse it again and again. And so that way, when I go to have a 4th offering here, I could grab it from that saved library of, what we offer, or I can get rid of that and build something from scratch. But it should be really, really fast to build them something new. Tell them that it's a yearly building as opposed to monthly or quarterly, or this is just a one-off. It costs this much money. And if they sign by December 10th, which is our deadline for getting the shipping out on a really easy way, I'll go ahead and hook them up with a 10% discount. And I want that to display and really get them excited. Also really helpful to put a discount on something and then tell them to go re-click on the link and watch your analytics drive up from there. Pricing is also quite interactive, so I can have things be optional to the customer or kind of optional quantity, so they could add more of these or less of these, and that eliminates that time frame, which I remember before Qwilr, the customer's like, yeah, I'm excited to move forward. Can you reduce this, change that, and then send it back to me so I can see how much that costs? And then there's this back and forth and back and forth. And people are used to buying in places like Amazon, and they just want it to be one-click simple. They can adjust this. It'll total everything up for them, add applicable taxes. And once they have that total where they want it, they can agree to move forward with you by e-signing the page as it is. And also forward this along. There's also a little nightmare in the black hole of sales process when they have my proposal. It's like, they're like, oh, I'm not the signer. Please forward this along to somebody else. I have to remind that person to check their spam. Not the case with Qwilr, right? It's one link that can be shared around quite easily.
Yeah, and you can also add the T's and C's as well. We do get a lot of customers ask that they want that included. So when you're e-signing, they have that as well. There's a neat way to just embed that in, so it's quite subtle.
Yeah, you could either copy and paste that text from that long black and white page that we all have that says, here's our T's and C's. And again, no offense if there are any lawyers on this call, but like everyone else will just kind of gloss through this and get to the signature portion. But the person on the legal team can easily find that. So again, I'm not having to share multiple documents, whatever this is, they can go ahead and access that. Good call out, Tania. Anything else I might be forgetting before I
I think the sticky navigation at the top is a good one as well. Like that does follow, particularly it prompts the customer to know when they need to sign as well. So you can figure that and have an organized document on the left as well. So it's quite easy to go through and have that all branded. We also have some security features as well that lets you set view limits or time limits. So if you do want to have an offer that's only valid for 5 days or 7 days, you can set that up in Qwilr as well and have it expire, so that you're not having to go back and kind of find all of these offers that are still live.
Yeah, super solid point. So let's pretend I'm done with step 2 and I'm ready to do exactly what you just said. Send this out, but I want to make sure it's password protected because I don't want everyone to see my pricing, and I need this to expire by the 10th because I told them they could have this discount, but it's only good through the 10th. So I transition from step 2, which is build all this content and get ready to send it out, into like step 3. It's out there in the world with pretty much this one click to click this share button. So I can put on an expiry, 10 days from now, or actually, I guess that's December 10th. It's only 4 days from now. That's terrifying. Gotta get my Christmas shopping done. And maybe I want to password protect this and then share the password with the customer. And so that way I can follow up. I've gotten off my sales call. They say, please send me something. I follow up with this one link. It's now live that says, hey, here's the proposal I said I'd send over that you wanted to share with 6 other people. Please click this link to access it. And then what the customer sees is this password protection. Oops, reset this password protection and just take it off. What they would see without the password protection is a really easy clickable link that they could share with other folks and loads super quickly, whether they're looking at this from their mobile phone. We have great mobile optimization because Qwilr are live web pages. You can click a button and get a PDF, but Qwilr really thrives as a live web page. And so you can see this will be condensed into mobile, or if they open it from their computer. Either way, we want this to load really quickly and work on whatever screen they open it on. Our internal statistics say the majority of people look at this from their phone for the first time. So we really want that to be good representation of the brand. And so again, they can scroll through this. It's interactive. It tells the story that they want to tell. So they can share this with those 6 other stakeholders. Other stakeholders say, yeah, but what are their legal terms, or how much does it cost? And it's all displayed really quickly and efficiently for them. If I had a nav bar here, there'd be a nav bar, but we can see the reminder that this page is going to expire, and they can click one button to take that quick action of doing business with me. this is what the prospect is seeing as you send it to them. But we also want to know what's going on there, what's going on when the page is out there living in the world. So on the back end, the first time that got opened and viewed, I would actually get an email that says, congrats, your page got viewed for the first time. I could set it to be an alert every single time it gets viewed, or the first 10 times or whatever that is. But I really want to know, especially if I'm putting this out there for this big company, Jack Frost & Co. LLC. It's one of the biggest proposals I put out there. I really want to know how this is being engaged with, and I don't want to pick up the phone and keep calling my prospect and bugging them, knowing that they're busy. And so let's say I got that alert, hey, your page got another view. That was my 27th view. Great. I can click on the analytics from that page, either from CRM or from here, and come in here and say, well, I wonder what they're looking at, or like what's going on in that room with 6 people I don't get to meet. And so I can see that when I first got off the call with them, November 30th, I shared over my proposal, huge level of engagement, 14 different people looked at it. Great. But I'm starting to get a little nervous as we're 4 days away from when that deal's supposed to close in my mind, that the engagement's actually dropping off here. So I need to take action. I need to call Tania or Jack Frost or whoever this is and try and figure out like how I can get this deal back on track, or how I can get them to look at this more. And so I can see that this is being shared in different locations. Perhaps I know that my CFO, my legal counsel, is in Sydney. Tania, you're now the legal person that I've been making jokes at the entire time. And I can get in here and I can say, okay, well, Tania didn't look at this very long. And Tania spent most of her time looking at like our fee structure. That's a little concerning. Let me go ahead and look at the overall proposal. This got viewed 27 different times from different team members, and they're also looking at like the fee structure or whatever this is. So now I know I need to pick up the phone, call my main point of contact and say, hey, notice that you've been looking at this, but not so much lately. Can we chat a little bit more about the fee structure? Then maybe a couple more days go by, and then I am starting to feel, a little bit like the time's coming near. I can go ahead and go back to that page, turn that 10% discount into a 15% discount and say, hey, go ahead and take a look at the page again. And that'd be an instantaneous update. They could click the link and they would see that now they have a 15% discount. And hopefully that draws more action, and I'd be able to see on the back end if it is. Another really good way to track this at a high level, aside from just views, is to give yourself rules around engagement. So I want to know if this page is highly engaged or disengaged, so I can log in and quickly like call all my prospects that are the most engaged or least engaged. And so I am able to set what we call engagement levels for proposals, for pitch decks, for whatever it is. But it should be like human being simple, where it's like the gauge is high. There's buying indicators here. And I can change what the buying indicators are. So if this page got viewed at least twice in the last 7 days, or perhaps I only want to get notified of like if they have viewed this for at least 5 minutes in the last 10 days, or whatever this is, I make the rules based on what I'm seeing as high levels of engagement. And then when these change from highly engaged to engaged to lower levels of engagement, or they pop back up because somebody that was ignoring my proposal for months is now looking at this again, I get an email alert, so I can really quickly take action and follow up with the relevant person there. Similar concept in like, again, we only focus on, or largely focus on that time frame between when we have to send content to a prospect, like a proposal, and they either tell us they want to do business with us or, unfortunately not. And so we can tell you how many pages are alive out there, how many pages have been accepted, closed won, and are we trending in the right direction in the sense of like, how much are those pages worth on average? How long does it take us to, close those pages? What's our acceptance rate, our win rate? And is that trending upwards over time? No data in this one because it's a fake account and nobody wants to have my delivery services, unfortunately, yet. But this would start representing like, hey, if we wanted to see how our X region is doing compared to our Y region, one seller is compared to another seller, how are we doing over time? Or what about when we send out enterprise proposals versus smaller level proposals? I can kind of chop that data to start chasing that stuff down, and then combine that with my analytics of like, hey, people are looking mostly, first off, they only spend 2 minutes here. So we have to condense this down into 2 minutes. And when I'm looking to make this shorter, what can I get rid of? And so we really want this to be as impactful as possible. Tanya, I'm sure I've missed between 22 and 47 things I should talk about. But that kind of concludes step 3, which is like, this is out there in the world. Your prospects are engaging with it. You want to see how, what else should I cover? What do you think I've missed?
No, I think the analytics portion and the notifications as well. I think Qwilr doesn't rely on you just coming in and seeing this yourself. It will give you a notification so that you're prompted to come in and go, oh, this has been viewed. So the email notifications are also on the engagement algorithm that Aaron just talked through as well. So you will get a notification if it's a page is kind of trending downwards and becoming less engaged. And we also have some updates coming where you'll be able to identify who is looking at the page as well, particularly if you want to enable authentication on pages. So you can force people to kind of sign in with their email and identify themselves so that you can track all of the different stakeholders looking at it. But yeah, we're welcome to pop in any question. I think we had one already. Yes, you will get a link to the recording. But let us know if you have any questions that we can cover, because Aaron has it up and ready and he can jump into anything to show you.
Yeah, and I think to wrap this up, I'm not sure if I said it, but the whole goal is like seller, prospect, buyer, whatever, both their lives should be easy, because this is already not a fun process. Like selling's not all that fun. I say that as a seller, and buying's not all that fun, right? When you're comparing competitors and getting stakeholders involved and making decisions. So you really just want to make this as easy as humanly possible.
Yeah. Why don't we go through the PDF portion, Aaron? Because we did a question. Can you save the proposal as a PDF to the local drive?
For sure. One really important thing to note is most people ask for PDFs after this is after the transaction is completed, and I would get a PDF download automatic. So I, as the seller who sent this, I get an alert when the page gets accepted, and it would have a PDF attachment, and then the signer would get an alert, hey, congrats, you signed this page, here's your copy of it. But if, say, I needed to do that ahead of the closure of this deal, they said, just send me a PDF copy. I could click this download PDF button, and then I have some flexibility on how this will display. Again, Qwilr pages always look really good as web pages. And then as you try and convert that to a PDF, you'll have to understand like the snowflakes and the reindeer won't be going across here. But I can switch some of this layout to make sure it looks as close as possible to what I want before I send this to somebody. And then that's literally it. I can download this or get a link. One thing that's really powerful for some folks that are used to using links and PDFs, and they know they're going to get asked for them, is to take this PDF, but kind of just have it as a backup. So potentially with one click, I could put click here for a PDF, and then add the link in here so that if the receiver, the customer, wants to use the PDF, great, but I'll actually know. And so if they scroll through this, I get analytics. If they open the PDF, I don't. PDFs don't have analytics. And so, yeah, this is your way to at least know if they're clicking it. And then hopefully, because it's here, you've sufficed the ability to have it. But the goal would be that they get a link and it's so easy to open, and they just start scrolling down. They never think like, oh, I need this offline, PDF copy version. That's our hope.
Yeah. Let us know if you have any follow-up questions as well to that one, Ian. We do have another question from Robert. So I noticed you could track by location. Can you track by individual?
Yep, you can, as long as you ask them to verify who they are. So if I had this access setting and enabled authentication, so that I would require my clients to actually verify who they are, otherwise it's not quite a full authentication, then the view, instead of saying location, would say Tania Clarke at Qwilr.com. And there's pros and cons to that for sure. Asking somebody to verify might slow down, how frequently they share it out, but at least you'll know exactly who's viewing it. Whereas turning that setting off means they can share it freely, and that's what you want.
Yeah, you can also limit it by domain and stuff as well. So there's a bit of flexibility on the security front and how you share. We've got another one from Robert. So is there a trial available for the building area of the proposal?
Yeah. I think Tania's thunder at the end of this is to offer both a trial to test this out for 2 weeks, which includes everything here, but also the thing that potentially is most time consuming when you're starting a trial with us is building your content in here, and we'll make that even easier with a little offer for us to build out your first template as a starting point.
Yeah, we'll go through that as well. We have one from Jeff. So if you have a video embedded and then save it as a PDF, can the customer at least click on the link to view the video from the PDF?
I have no idea the answer to that. I literally have never used a Qwilr page as a PDF. So this one has a video. I'll test this on the side if I can get an answer. This will download off screen, but I'll test this really quickly. And while I'm doing that, somebody asked about CRM integrations.
Yeah, there was a question about, can you show us quickly, show how the access, if it is integrated with the CRM like HubSpot?
Cool. So while that thing's downloading, I'll go to Tania, who's my SFFD of Tania's T company in HubSpot. And basically, HubSpot and Qwilr talk to each other. So they know that I have a license in both places. So I have this cool little widget. It's just a button. And when I go to click this, just like I said, use the enterprise template, that's the optionality that would drop down here from my templates. And I would only see the templates that I'm supposed to see as the seller. So if you have sellers in this region and that region, like that region would see their templates and the other one would see that. And then when the page is completed, it would attach itself here as a live link so that I can make my edits from here. I can share the links from here. I can see my analytics from here, all that kind of stuff. So it lives as a really neat little widget here.
Excellent.
All right, let's test this theory. Nope, it'll take me back to the Qwilr page. So you would need to embed it as a button. If you know you're going to send this as a PDF, you just turn that into a button. Click here for a video of our overview. Good question.
Cool. If there any other questions, otherwise we might wrap it up. I'll just give it a couple of seconds. You can also
stop talking.
You can also ask any follow-up questions by email or anything as well. But I will jump into, so we are offering a offer. If you do sign up for another trial with Qwilr, we will convert a beautiful proposal for you. So you can just send in a document and we'll get our design team. We have quite a few designers working on Qwilr and they can convert it for you and get you up and running really quickly. That way you'll have the template already in your account and then you can just have a feel and play around with how Qwilr works.
Yeah, you know how like marketing always tells consistent story and sales kind of ruins things. I'm going to jump in here and do this and just say, like, if anybody on this call wants to have access to Qwilr, like we'll turn it on through the end of the year for you. We've been doing that with some folks, and like as you're trying to close deals, if Qwilr in any way can help you like drive action and see who's not on vacation and what they're engaging with and things like that, like happy to extend. I know some people on this call our former trial users, happy to turn your trial back on, get it extended for the next 25 days or whatever. Hopefully you're not working over the holidays, but see if this can actually help you, drum up some business by the end of the year. And the conversion of like us building something and putting in the account makes that exponentially faster for you as well. Unless Tania says we can't do that, then
no, that's perfect. We can extend.
Fine print. Marketing has the right to be that.
Awesome. It looks like there's no more questions coming in. So thank you so much for joining us. We know it's very hard to do so at the end of the year when you're trying to wrap everything up and also go on hopefully holidays soon. But we appreciate the time. Thank you, Aaron. We will send the recording after this quite soon, and then we'll send that link to the offer to get your free proposal converted as well. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. We appreciate your time.